Here is a quick demonstration of collective commerce. So I need to get a new iPhone. Can be associated with some plan, although the phone needs to be able to go to a different plan if I need to change, because I don't know what my needs are going to be after this moment. So I don't know what to choose, and you and all sorts of people have made all sorts of choices, and if I knew the choice that you made, if I could look up, what you chose, and other specific people and other groups of people, get all the statistics queried any way that I want about that information for me to make a choice. Once I make that choice, your data or any data that I queried, that was part of the query, it's going to be millions of people, that made the choice that I decided upon once I looked up what they chose. When that transaction happens, when I provide the money to get that phone, then every one of those people that had a hand in influencing my decision at an appropriate fractional amount, that'll be the algorithm, but you can imagine, let's just say for, as a starting point, if there were 1 million people in the query results, then that 8% would be divided up amongst 1 million people. 8% commission from the sale. So in this way, everything that we do in our life, that we document, that we become a data point for, becomes a monetization of our life, because we never know when any of those data points are going to end up in some query that's going to lead to some transaction, but many of them will. And the more data that we put out there, the more data points that we have to earn from. And the more influential that we are, when people just want to know what's your choice, and you're the only data point, then you earn all the commission. So this is where it can be from, one data point for the complete commission to some range of data points that might have some fractional weighting of the data based on, the algorithm. That's all I can say, because it will be complex when it goes down to that level, and it'll evolve over time. So we can start with the basic 1 million gets divided up evenly, and then over time we'll figure out, incrementally how to add different factors in that actually make it more representative of the weight of each individual in the decision making. But now you're seeing not only how we start with collective commerce with what we've got right here in terms of, what we can do today, and some evolution that we're going to have based on figuring out all these different weighting factors and different people's expertise and influence and their influence, rating coming into the algorithm potentially. So, but we don't need to figure all of that out today in order to start down this path to know that we will eventually approach perfection and the absolute, accurate representation of every, data point's influence in the decision making. And we can see in this moment, as I'm describing it, that we can start at a very advanced place on the evolutionary path by just starting right now, implementing these concepts as we are. And we can anticipate that there's a lot of different evolution that's going to happen over time as we're really tweaking out this algorithm to bring in all these different types of factors, all these different things that go into our influential rating, whatever that was, how much we influence people, and in group decisions, you know, the ways that comes to the surface if we are weighting it in some way. We could just do like a straight, what's the number, or we could do what's the weighted number, or all the different ways that we could ever want to imagine manipulating the data once we have the data all there, which we have all there when we're systematizing our data. And that's what's at the root of all of this: collective thinking, collective action, and collective commerce. And all the collective things that we're going to be doing is all based on systematizing everything, breaking everything down into data. And that's why with the collective system, a system that systematizes systematization, when we have a system that systematizes systematization, then everything gets to be systematized, all in the same system, one collective global brain behind all of it that allows us to be able to know everything that there is to be known, as much as we are entering all of that data. And we're very incentivized to enter all the data for all of our life, because every single data point we enter is another opportunity for monetization. And even if we don't have a high influencer rating right now, even if we're not influencing a lot of people right now, as we bank, so to speak, all of that data, anytime in the future that our influencer rating goes up, that all of a sudden now people are paying attention to us. Now people want to know what decisions we've made. We've got all of that data in there that then starts cranking monetization for us way after the fact. And we all have the opportunity to become influencers about anything at any time. And that's, again, part of the magic of the system. So you're starting to get a sense of how all of this flows, and how all of this is like so in alignment with like a beautiful way of living, of just like living our lives, showing the world how we're living, just recording it in the background. You don't have to think about like you'll have to be doing all of this data entry. It's going to be happening in the background. In the beginning, it's going to take a little data entry and a little bit of time for us to ramp up, but not really so much with us being able to speak our thoughts and record them and have the AI process them and all of that stuff. So welcome to the future. I'm glad you're joining us here, and here we go.